Tell me what you see, paradise. Girl, I no go lie. I say I no go throw you like dice. Look into my eyes. Tell me what you see, paradise. Girl, I no go lie. I say I no go
So we, once again, I just want to thank you. I just want to appreciate you for your patience. I'd like to invite you to the stage, Brittany Brooks, to come and start a program with a welcome address. Thank you very much. You can clap, you can, if you want. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brittany Brooks, and I am the coordinator for International Student Success located in the Multicultural Center. And we want to welcome you to our very first ever Culture Share series. So this is a new series that my office created because we have so many wonderful, diverse cultures represented on campus through our international student population. So we wanted to give them a platform and a place to share, to teach the ETSU community, and to really celebrate the awesome cultures that we have here on campus. So we are so honored to have some of our wonderful Nigerian students here with us tonight for our very first session. They are going to talk to you about their culture, teach you some things. We have some great performances coming for you, and then we'll have time for a Q&A at the end. So after the program, we also have some Nigerian food up in the dining hall. So go take advantage of that. If you have a meal plan, you can swipe in. If you don't, we are going to cover your cost. So Miss Abigail Germ, she's an IBB leader. She's going to be up in the dining hall where you swipe in. She's going to sign you in. So if you don't have a meal plan, make sure to sign the sheet with Abigail, and we're going to cover that cost for you. So we hope you enjoy the Nigerian food. So I am going to turn it over now to Greg O'Day. He is the president of Shades of Africa, which is a really cool organization, student organization here on campus, and he is going to start the program for us. So thank you again for coming, and we really hope you enjoy the night. Greg?
We are going to start with Joy Okoro, who is one of our students. She's from Nigeria, and she majors in public health. She's a graduate student. She's going to be discussing and telling us about the Igbo people in Nigeria, because Nigeria is divided into 3 broad ethnic groups. So for you to better understand Nigeria as a country and understand the people and the culture, we've decided to split it into the 3 major ethnic groups to give you an explicit, detailed discussion about these people, so you understand and appreciate Nigeria as a people. So permit me at this point in time to welcome to the stage Joy Okoro as she comes to present about the Igbo ethnic group in Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joy Okoro, and I'll be presenting briefly on the Igbo ethnic group. So I'm Igbo, that's my tribe, and as you can see, the Igbos are found mainly in eastern Nigeria. So like in Nigeria, we have the east, we have the west, the north, the south. So in the east, you find the Igbos, and they are like the largest ethnic group in the southeastern geopolitical zone. In Nigeria, we have 6 geopolitical zones. We have the south-south, the southwest, and like that. Then this particular ethnic group, you find them in the southeastern geopolitical zone. And then the tribe is Igbo, and the language as well is the Igbo language. And the Igbo tribe is among the 3 main tribes. We have 3 main tribes, which you'll get to know about today. We have the Igbo tribe, we have the Hausa, and we have the Yoruba. So these are the 3 largest tribes and the 3 main tribes in Nigeria. Okay, so this is like a cut-off section of the map. So towards the down part of the map, that's where you have the eastern part. So you can see the area marked red. That's the eastern part, the southeastern part, and that is where you find the Igbo tribe. So you can see places like Umuahia, Owerri, Aba. These are the major cities in eastern Nigeria. And this area is where you are likely, or most definitely, you will find the Igbo people in Nigeria. Okay, so now to like tell you what they are, what they do. So the Igbos are majorly traders. They do trading, they do business a lot. They're also travelers. You can find them in virtually any place, any country where there is trade. You are definitely to find a Nigerian, and then the likelihood that the Nigerian is gonna be from the Igbo tribe is very high because they value business a lot, they value trading a lot. So places like, China, US, a lot of countries where there's a lot of international trade, you find the Nigerians there, and definitely you find the Igbos there. And then they are predominantly Christians, so it's like really, really rare to see an Igbo person who is not a practicing Christian. But at the same time, they also revere their cultural and traditional values. They have a lot of cultural practices that shape the way they do things, their behavior, the way they interact with people. And then their traditional rulers are also referred to by different names, so it depends on the place the person is from. The traditional ruler of a city in Onitsha will be different from the name or what you refer to a traditional ruler who is from like Enugu State or somewhere else in the eastern part. So for example, this is a traditional ruler, a typical traditional ruler, and he is the current traditional ruler in Onitsha, Anambra State. That's His Majesty Igwe Nemeka. And then he's the Obi of Onitsha. And then Onitsha is one of the major cities in eastern Nigeria where you have a lot of trade transactions going on. So this person in the picture is the traditional ruler of this particular part. But if it was to be like a place like Umuahia, it could be an Eze, it could be some other title for a traditional ruler. Then their cultural attire. You get to see how they appear. Like, this is a typical Igbo man. He dresses like this, like he's going for a traditional function. He has this attire. He has the red hats. He has this shirt, and then this trouser. And then this is how a typical Igbo lady dresses. Then this is how a typical Igbo bride appears when she wants to do her traditional marriage. She wears this attire. These are how her maidens typically dress. Of course, now people can modernize things, but basically, this is depicting like proper the culture, and then the elephant hawks. These are the beads. A lot of these things symbolizes like the old meaning for people. When you put on this attire, it's like you value the culture, you want to represent that you appreciate the culture. Same thing for the guys. And most times when you see a guy holding this marks that the guy is having on his hand, it shows that that person is likely a titled person. He's not just like an ordinary citizen. He probably has a title in the place where he comes from. And then you see here, this is what they call the Ishiago. It's very, very revered. It's very, very respected. This material is very, very respected. And although people now can wear it, but before it was like people who are titled that are allowed to wear this material when they're going for a function. So they dress like this. So this guy at the middle is likely to be like a prince or a titled person, and maybe these are like people that are his friends, or people who are also titled as well. So now people can go to the market and get this material like for the cultural benefit, but back in the day, it was like somebody who was really respected, somebody who has a title that wears the Ishiagu. So this material Ishiagu means the lion's head, and a lion is an animal that depicts strength and bravery in Igbo land. So most times, a man who has the audacity to wear this, he's like really respected. And then further on the outfits, these are like, typically how people dress in the community in Igbo land. These people are just having fun. This guy is playing this is like a flute, yeah. And then these are things that people normally do when you go to the villages in Igbo tribe. People have wine. This is the shinap drink. So people use these things to relax. Somebody is playing the flute. Some other person is singing. Some other person is cracking jokes. Some other person is bringing out the drink. This drink is another revered drink. It's called a schnapp drink, and then it's used for like cultural rites and stuff. And then typically some Igbo dishes that when you make this, people know that you are from that tribe. This is the oha soup. This is ukwa. It looks like rice, but it's not rice. It's ukwa. It's breadfruit, which is like really proteinous. And this African salad, they make it with tapioca and fried fish, and you make some radish for it. And this honor is like yam or like cocoyam, but not really that. It's slightly of a different species, but it's a root crop. And this is a soup, one of the soups. Igbos have a lot of soup, but I just showed this one. And then to discuss like how they do things, you have their marriage system. So their marriage system is based on their traditional values. And then it's very simple. The guy approaches the lady and says, he wants to marry her. And then from there, they go to meet the girl's parents. When they get there, if the parents are like satisfied, if they ask their daughter, do you want to marry this guy? She says, yes, she wants to marry this guy. Then they produce what they call a bride price list. And then the guy has to fulfill all the things on the list. The girl she's definitely from a clan, and then her clan have what they require from the guy and his people. And then for the marriage to be contracted, they'll have to fulfill all those demands. Usually they ask for a lot of things. They ask for money, they ask for wrappers, they ask for, stuff. And then the guy's family if they really want to marry the girl, they have to do all those things for the marriage to be contracted. And then in the culturally, the man has the right to marry more than one wife, but women are not accorded that same right, and it's very rare it's not even done for a woman to think of having two husbands at a time, unless maybe she was married before and the guy died and then she wants to remarry. Then, upon death, the wife and the children, culturally, they should have the right, they should inherit whatever the man owned. And then for divorce, unlike in some other cultures where a woman cannot initiate divorce, in Igbo land, either the man or the woman can initiate a divorce. The woman can say she doesn't want to be married to the man anymore. The man can say he doesn't want to be married to the woman anymore. And then if the woman doesn't want to be married to the man, she has to return the bride price that was paid for her. She has to return it to the man's family. And then a man usually acts, unlike in some Western cultures where when a divorce is going on, the man leaves the house for the woman and the kids. In Igbo tribe, or generally I would say a larger part of Nigeria, if a man doesn't want to be with a woman anymore, he actually asks her to leave the house. And then the man may or may not provide for the kids after the divorce. Then education and business. The Igbos are well educated, despite the fact that they hold on tenaciously to their cultural values and beliefs. They're actually very well educated. A lot of people, Chimamanda is an Igbo woman. A lot of people are Igbos that are well educated and doing well in society beyond the shores of Nigeria. Go to Europe, go to America, you have a lot of Igbo people. Then they're as educated as the Yorubas. Usually they will say the Yorubas are like the most educated in the country, but Igbos compete very well with them in that. However, when it comes to business, the Igbos are the most successful in business. They dominate the trade sector. As I mentioned earlier, they are known for import and export business. And then you will definitely find them in any country in the world where trade is going on. And they are known for the apprenticeship system, which involves recruiting young boys. There are studies right now to really understand this apprenticeship system. It's been going on in the Igbo land, and I don't think it goes on in other places in the world. Even in Nigeria, it doesn't go on in other places. So the system involves, if you're an established businessman, you can, to help your community. There are people in your community who they can barely afford to send their kids to school. So the businessman goes to his community and maybe he meets like a relative, or it might even be somebody he doesn't know. Although sometimes those people even approach the businessman and they're like, please help my son. We don't have money to train him in school. Can you take him with you to the city where you're doing business and train him? He will serve you. So this system has been going on. And in Eastern Nigeria, the system is well known. So a lot of people who are big in business now, that was how they started. Their parents couldn't send them to school, so one uncle or one person in their village comes and takes them, and they stay with him, and then he's training them in business for like 7 years. They get to know the trade. They get to the point where if they are trustworthy, if they are smart, the master trusts them. He sends them to China to transact business for him. So in his absence, maybe he needs to go to Sweden, and then he sends this boy to go to China to contract business for him, to buy goods and come back. And then it gets to a point, usually they do it for like minimum of 7 years, and then the master can give like maybe, depending on the currency and what it can do for the person, the master can send as much as 2 million, 5 million, set up this young man in business, and this young man now becomes a boss of his own. And the cycle continues. This boss now, he does well in business, 5 years, he goes to his town, recruits 2 or 3 boys, bring them to the city, and they start serving him as well. So this apprenticeship system, actually, a lot of studies are going on now to like really understand this and how it's been effective and working for the Igbos in making them to do well in business. So arguably, though some people might disagree, they are like the richest population in Nigeria generally. And yeah, this for the dance. So I wanted to see the Igbo Atilogu dance. Is a cultural dance that Igbos are known for, and this dance has been going on for years. So they're going to project it, and you'll see a couple of students. I think it was even done here in America that were performing this dance step, and you will get to like appreciate the culture much more. That's it. That's the end of the presentation. So, thank you very much for listening. I appreciate it.
I think that was a very nice presentation from Joy. She did an excellent job, and I hope we've learned something about the Igbo people in Nigeria. Learned about the food, learned about the dance. This is how they dance every time. This has been, dance is a cultural dance that has been in centuries, in thousands of years, before even the Europeans came into Africa. So it's one of those sacred, activities that is held at the very highest esteem in the eastern region in the country. So that was a very nice job. Thank you so much, Joy. So right about now, I'm going to welcome to the stage one of our top artists who has done very well, not just in Nigeria as a superstar. He has also done tremendously well with international collaborations. And he's a producer too. He produces. If you have an artist you want to produce, is also a producer. And he has done so many songs. But for tonight, because of time, he's just going to present a couple of his songs so that you can, enjoy. So for right about now, I'm going to invite to the stage Hayo P. He's a student in ETSU in computer science. Can we make welcome Hayo P to the stage as he presents? Thank you so much.
DJ Noosh for the kid, you know what it is. Drop the track.
By the way, you want help a booty. I swear I did love it already. Figure it, she got some on body. Oh, yeah, African lady. By the way, you want help a booty. I swear I did love it already. Figure it, she got some on body. Oh, yeah, African song. It's African baby. Fine girl looking sexy, yeah. Feel this African lady. And Melanie is looking fresh, yeah. Feel this African baby. Fine girl looking fresh, yeah. Feel this African lady. And Melanie is looking fresh, yeah. Feel this African lady. Give me African love, African love, African love. Oh, yeah. This African baby. Give me African love, African love, African love. Oh, yeah. By the way you want your booty, I swear I did love it already. Figure it, she got some on body. Oh, yeah, African lady. By the way you want your booty, I swear I did love it already. Figure it, she got some on body. Oh, yeah, African something. By the way you move it that body, by the way they call me Zadi. Oh, yeah, African lady. And my body too fresh, she be melanin. Hey, melanin papi. She got body I want link up with. Her body too fresh, she be melanin. Hey, melanin papi. She got body I want link up with. As I got this girl from my area, body fresh like Angelina, and she said she want my banana. She dey work like Rihanna. She party jalo Cubana. I'ma make her think she get man thing. Big piece stuff, she dey rise my thing. Body gun says make a man greet. By the way you want your booty, I swear I did love it already. Figure it, she got some hot body. Oh yeah, African lady. By the way you want your booty, I swear I did love it already. Figure it, she got some hot body. Oh yeah, African song. Man, this African baby. Fine girl looking sexy, yeah. Feel this African lady. And Melanie is looking fresh, yeah. Meet this African baby. Fine girl looking fresh, yeah. Meet this African lady. And Melanie is looking fresh, yeah. Feel this African baby. Give me African love, African love, African love. Feel this African baby. Give me African love, African love, African love. Oh yeah. Oh na, oh na na na, yeah. Duro, I again, oh yeah. Hey, give me me your number, make I call you on my iPhone. Me and you, baby girl, call it your phone. We go party, yeah. We go scatter all the down floor. Designer ain't gon' let go. iPhone ain't gon' let go. Necklace ain't gon' let go. Wristwatch ain't gon' let go. Cause level ain't gon' let go. No gon' use me snap photo. Ex-boyfriend ain't let go. So my baby girl get inside my motor. Level ain't gon' let go. No gon' use me snap photo. Ex-boyfriend yeah only do. So my baby girl get inside my motor.
Shawty wa ya gbe wa o, baby o ya gbe wa o. Má lọ ṣe báyẹn fún mi, baby o ya gbe wa o. Wá súnmọ́ mi o, bóyá sáré wá ká control. Bóyá kan make a wire your hazard, make a wire your hazard.
Sweet you carry, baby get married, baby get married. You no go mind, yeah you no go mind. Come and be my mind, yeah hey. Sweet you carry, baby get married, you no go mind, yeah. Come and be my mind, yeah hey.
She want a fine boyfriend, dark skin, pink lips, red gang, 6 feet, 6 bags and zeros on his EP. She want a Nike leg on, I did, nigga. See I hate brain. Come closer, shut it with the red dress. Let me hit it from the back like it's Pinterest. Double tap on the ass like it's Insta. Shawty wa o ya gbe wa o, baby o ya gbe wa o. Má lọ ṣe báyẹn fún mi, baby o ya gbe wa o. Wá súnmọ́ bí o, bóyá sáré wá gba control. Bóyá come make a wire your hazard, come make a wire your hazard.
Baby man, baby girl married.
Oh yo yo, Martin's Fuse music.
Lay up in on yeah, all the way from Miami, one lami, one walk back to my door. All the way from Napoli, then Bambi, them dance to my ego. I know you sabi do one leg up, mommy leg. I know you sabi do one leg up, mommy leg. One leg up to sotun, you so see you le mommy leg. One leg up to sotun, you so see you le mommy leg. Go down for my ego, anything for the moonlight. For my jet to Munana, every cool for Melena. One leg up to sotun, you so see you le mommy leg. One leg up to sotun, you so see you le mommy leg. I know you sabi do one leg up, mommy leg. I know you sabi do that leg up, my swag.
One leg up, 2 leg up, eh. Maybe they give them leg work. One I won't walk with, they want to know my net worth. Make you no waste your time. You know if you block my shine, yeah, yeah. I get the girls online, and our girls them fine like wine, yeah, yeah. Want the mommy, tell her. If not dance, I'm undefeated. Shama Juru, let's guess it. Big body. Pass Ronaldinho, and she gets it the Gallardo, and she dey spend past million now. And live in a Mona Lisa, she dey get past Ronaldinho, and she gets it the Gallardo, and she dey spend past million now. Ọmọ mo ti nà nà, lálẹ́ yìí kò tọ́tọ́ rí tọ̀, bébí mi jọ máa lọ kọ́kọ́ dìkọ̀, owó yẹn pọ̀, ó ti pọ̀ pọ̀ jù pọ̀. Ọmọ mo ti nà nà, lálẹ́ yìí kò tọ́tọ́ rí tọ̀, bébí mi jọ máa lọ kọ́kọ́ dìkọ̀, owó yẹn pọ̀, ó ti pọ̀ pọ̀ jù pọ̀. Well, baby, she Corora. I'm feeling the way you she Corora. I'm feeling the way you she Corora. Said I'm feeling the way you she Corora. I'm feeling the way you. Come give me kiss, oh, baby, I request for your matter. Baby, you they make me the ginger. Baby, I request for your matter. Come give me kiss, oh, water. Baby, I request for your matter. Baby, you they make me the ginger. Oh, baby, I request for your matter. I name in a Mona Lisa. She dey play past Ronaldinho, and she gets it the Gallardo, and she dey spend past million now. I name in a Mona Lisa. She dey play past Ronaldinho, and she gets it the Gallardo, and she dey spend past million now. Ọmọ mo ti nà, lálẹ́ yìí kò tọ́tọ́ rí tọ̀, baby mi jọ máa lọ see what I see, you go to do what I do. You go to move I move, you go to dance how I dance. I say if you see what I see, you go to spend how I spend. You go to dance how I dance, you go to do what I do. Come give me keys,
Purchase your tracks today.
baby, I request for your matter. Baby, you they make me the ginger. Baby, I request for your matter. Come give me keys, so water. Baby, I request for your matter. Baby, you they make me the ginger. Oh, baby, I request for your matter. I name in a Mona Lisa. She the papers Ronaldinho, and she gets it the Colorado. And she step past me, I know. I name in a Mona Lisa. She the papers Ronaldinho, and she gets it the Colorado. And she step past me, I know.
YSW Music Production.
Thank you, guys.
DJ Noosh for the kid. You know what it is. Drop the track.
Very wonderful presentation from Hayopi and Illegal. So at this point, I'm still going to invite someone to the stage who is going to present to us again because, like I said, this event is going to be interesting, and I'm sure you guys are enjoying it. So we are going to bring to the stage Abdurazak Ejiwomi, who is a graduate student in public health, to present to us one of the largest ethnic groups in Nigeria, the Yoruba ethnic groups. He's going to tell us about Yoruba people and everything about the Yoruba, so that at the end of the day, we also understand how all these ethnic groups, function in a country with diverse culture, how we cohabit together. You appreciate it more when you get to understand these distinct differences in cultural practices. So may we make welcome to the stage Abdurazak to present to us about the Yoruba people in Nigeria. Thank you.
Good evening, all. My name is Abdurazak Ejiwomi. I'm a graduate student in public health, and I'm going to be talking about the Yoruba people of Nigeria. It is very pertinent at this point to note that Nigeria is a huge country of about 200 million people. It has about 450 different languages and 450 different languages and 250 ethnic groups. Some of these ethnic groups are like an hybrid of the major ethnic groups that we have in Nigeria. The Yoruba people and their culture. Who are the Yorubas? These are a group of socio-culturally related people located mainly in southwestern Nigeria. They are equally located in the north-central part of Nigeria, in some part of Benin Republic, present-day Togo, and a little chunk of the Republic of Ghana. The Yoruba diasporas are majorly resident in Europe, North America, and in other parts of Asia and African countries. With a population of approximately 60 million people, Yoruba is the single largest ethnic group in Africa. This map shows the geographic distribution of the Yoruba people in West Africa. You have Nigeria, and the Yorubas are located in the southwestern part of Nigeria. To the left of Nigeria is the Republic of Benin. They have quite a diverse group of ethnic nationalities, but Yoruba is also a significant chunk of that republic. You also have the Republic of Togo, and the Atakpame region is dominated by the Yoruba people. This is a bigger picture of Nigeria, showing the River Niger, somewhere there the River Benue, and the deep green color shows the location of the Yoruba people, especially in Nigeria. What is the history? I would like to tell you that the Yoruba ethnic group is one of the few ethnic groups in the world that has like a mythological postulation as to the origin of the planet Earth. They believe that in the beginning was a world filled with water, and the supreme being, who they call the Olodumare, had sent a bird with a sack of sand to the planet that is filled with water, and then the bird was asked to drop the sand or the water and then emerge the land where human beings eventually populated. It's a mythological postulation, but science has also shown that there was actually a time in history of the formation of planet Earth that it was all water. The Yoruba language. The language belongs to the Yoruboid groups of languages, a branch of Volta and Niger group that is said to have branched out of the Niger-Congo parent group of African languages. And this language emerged by the first millennium BCE. It is a tonal language with many dialects and similarities with other related ethnic groups within Nigeria and West Africa. Like I said, we all have common ancestry. We're all the same people at the point in history. But because of migration, because of natural barriers, language changes as time goes on, and then you realize people having, different tones, different languages, different dialects, and then eventually they see themselves as different ethnic nationalities. But by the time you start tracing back into history, you realize that everyone actually emerged from a common source. The Yoruba spirituality. The Yoruba people are mostly adherents of traditional religion, Islam, and Christianity. Some Yoruba are beginning to identify with other foreign religions, agnosticism, and atheism. African traditional Yoruba religion centers around the concept of Orisha, which is also called Orisa in Central and South American countries. It is worthy of note that a lot of blacks in Central America, in Brazil, in Cuba, in Haiti, actually have Yoruba ancestry. And when slavery was still very much in existence, they took to this new land their culture, the language, and practices. And that is why if you go to Central American countries like Brazil, African traditional religion is very much popular and is being practiced in those areas. In North Carolina, for instance, and in the US, a group of African Americans have re-established an African village called the Oyotunji village. And what they are trying to do is to kind of connect African Americans back to their root. Some research have demonstrated that at least 60% of African Americans have, as part of their ancestors, a Yoruba person. Yoruba culture and art. These pictures demonstrate different arts and culture in the Yoruba land. To the extreme left, somewhere there, is a bronze head, which was discovered somewhere in Ile-Ife, which the Yoruba considers as the origin of the Yoruba people. This was excavated archaeologically sometimes in 1927, and I think it's now presently in British Museum in the UK. It's dated to have actually been designed and constructed somewhere in the 12th century. This picture represents a Yoruba king. He is considered to be a well-respected person in the society. In the day of the hold, he commands his people. They give him all the respect. He determines what goes on in the society and what does not go on in the society. He is the judicial officer, he is the legislature, and he is the president. The Yoruba kings were quite powerful until the Europeans came and then started introducing democracy into our system. So right now, one of the things in Nigeria is that you have a kind of a share of power between politicians and the traditional rulers. This picture demonstrates the cultural attires and clothing of the Yoruba people. For the ladies, they wear the iro and the buba. The iro is the top material that they put on, while the buba is actually the top material that they put on, while the iro is a wrapper that they use to wrap around their waist. And this is for the Yoruba men. The dressing is quite similar to what I'm here wearing right now. It's called dashiki. This hat equally demonstrates the attires of the Yoruba people. This man, his name is Oba Adefunmi Osejeman. He is the founder of the Oyotunji village in North Carolina. He is late now. I think his son has taken over as the king of that town. This is a picture demonstrating greetings in Yoruba land. Yoruba people consider respect to elders as quite sacrosanct. And as a young man, you are not expected to greet your elders by just shaking hands with them. You are expected to prostrate and then give them all the respect, the traditional aspects of you. This picture demonstrates the dance and drummings in Yoruba land. A lot of this culture were actually exported to Central American countries where drummings has become quite popular in festivals. The Ifa Oreku is also a very popular traditional concept in Yoruba land, and it tries to use what can be described as binary system of mathematical calculations to make predictions about the future. It used to be quite popular, and it's still very popular in some parts of Nigeria and Central America. And these are also pictures that demonstrate the potential and the capabilities of the Yoruba artists in the day of the old. Most of these are now found in museums in Africa and in Europe. This man is called the Babalawo. He's seen as a priest who actually understand the operations of the Ifa oracle. And when people have questions about their future, when they have problems, social, emotional, or even health problems, they do consult this kind of a man, and he will be the one to now make consultation with the Olodumare, the supreme being, to find answers to the client's problem. The belief is quite still popular, but science and modern education has really modified the operation of this practice. Yoruba dishes. To the extreme left there is pounded yam and vegetable soup. It's quite a popular meal in Yoruba land of Nigeria and West Africa. This is made from yam, and it's usually pounded either in traditional way or using pounding machine. And then you make a kind of a mix of sauce with vegetables and meats, beefs and all that to prepare the other aspect of it. This is amola and egusi soup. This is called fried rice with fried banana or plantain and chicken. And this is fried rice. These are very common dishes in Yoruba land. We have quite a lot, but I just have to limit to these 4 different meals. The Yoruba wedding. This picture demonstrates the concept of the relationship between a groom and his in-laws, his parents' in-laws. This is a groom sitting with the parents of the bride, trying to form a connection. Yoruba people believe that when you're marrying into another family, you take the parents of your partner as your own parents. You treat them as equals, the way you want your parents to be treated. And this picture also demonstrates the bride sitting, between the in-laws, between the groom's parents. They are trying to form a connection to make sure that the marriage succeeds. And these are the groomsmen, all well dressed up, behind the groom, trying to give him all the support he requires on his wedding day. This is the groom and the bride. These are typical traditional attires in Yoruba weddings. And these are the bride's women. So this is just trying to demonstrate how wedding ceremonies are conducted and manifested in Yoruba culture. The Yoruba philosophy, this is just a quotation from a book I read. From the oral culture of its distant past to its vibrant present and buoyed by its scholarly discourses, Yoruba philosophy is the best understood as a folk philosophy, a set of narratives and cultural practices that attempt to explain the causes and the nature of things affecting the corporeal and the spiritual universe. The Yoruba music. Like I said, a lot of musical genres in America actually have a relationship with the Yoruba culture. The drummings and the hats were actually exported in those days, and that really explained why you can form a connection, you can find a connection between American musical genres and Africa. I'm going to be talking about prominent Yoruba people that some may know or may not know about. This is Adedayo Adeboyega. He's a very popular Hollywood actor. This is Angelina Kidjo, who won a Grammy last year. She's from Benin Republic, and she is the Yoruba woman. This is Wole Soyinka. He's a 1986 Nobel laureate in literature. This is Adewale Wale Adeyemo, who is presently, I think, the Deputy of Treasury in the United States of America. He's a cabinet member in the present Biden administration. This is Kehinde Willie, who is an artist, a sculptor. He's quite good at what he does. He's also a Nigerian American. And this is Fela Kuti, a very popular musician in the 70s and 80s. I hope with these few words and pictures I've been able to tell you a little bit about the Yoruba people and culture of West Africa. I'm going to be playing like a music which demonstrates the Yoruba songs. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
That was a very wonderful presentation from Abdurazak Ejumi. I think he did a very thorough job by dissecting the Hausa ethnic groups in Nigeria, which is, I think, is one of the largest after the Hausa, the Yoruba, one of the largest groups we have. So when Joy presented about the Igbos, we heard some of those important elements of the Igbo people, that we've not known before. And Abdul also talked about the Hausa. But I would like to give us a general overview, a background about Nigeria as a whole, and before coming to talking about the Hausa. So, you see, Nigeria was a British colony from 1884 to 1960. Prior to 1884, there was a lot of, European conflicts in Africa, to get most African countries colonized. There was a very big problems with the British administrators and the French administrators, most of whom were having, problems fighting because of the natural resources that were found in Africa. So most of these European countries went into conflict because of, contending who controls countries that have the major natural resources. So by 1884, a conference was held in Berlin, Germany, to determine, what country controls what country and based on their level of influence. So by this time, when this conference was held in Berlin, Nigeria was partitioned and was given to Britain to control as its colony. So between 1884 to about 1960, Nigeria was under the influence and under the control of British government, so we're colonized throughout this time. So during this time of colonization, from 1886, by 1884 when we became a British colony, by 1886, the British government established a company that was called the British Royal Niger Company to administer the South. So the company was found in the South because most of the natural resources in the country are found in the South. In the southern part of the country, we have crude oil, we have cocoa, we have granite, we have a lot of natural resources. So because these resources were found mostly in the South, the British government established control from the South under the auspices of this company to get control of these resources and ship to their country, leaving Nigeria impoverished. So the sphere of influence continued throughout this time to about 1889. By 1889, the British Royal Company had already, dominated the South. So by 1900, the South became a protectorate officially, and then the North also was declared a protectorate under the British administration. So by 1914, Frederick Law Lugard, who was one of the British administrators at the time, he was a British, because at the time when British was actually administering the colony, they delegate responsibilities to their governors, to control all this protectorate. So Frederick Law Lugard was the governor at the time who controlled Nigeria. So what he did was, rather than just controlling the South, he decided to amalgamate both the Southern Protectorate and the Northern Protectorate. There was a reason why he did that. The North didn't really have most of the natural resources as found in the South. So what he did was, as a British administrator, there's always, what they do is they fund the regions that are, don't really have the finances to run their budget. So the colonizers fund them. So when they realized that the northern part of Nigeria had no resources to, in their budget, they had to amalgamate both the South and the North to be able to use the resources in the South to run the entire country. So by 1914, he used his power as the administrator to merge the two protectorates together and then become one country, Nigeria, to be able to use the resources in the South to control to run the entire country. So by 1946, still under the British administration, under British colonization, the British government under Otto Richard drafted a constitution and then regionalized the country, because by this time, the country just existed in protectorates. You saw the Southern Protectorate and the Northern Protectorate, and then we had the colony of Lagos. So what he did was, at that time, he became the administrator in Nigeria. So he drafted a constitution in 1946 and regionalized, split the whole country into 4 regions: the North, the South, the East, and the West, to be able to now have independent leadership, like independent structures, the regional assemblies and the regional governors to be able to run the country, to be able to get more taxes for themselves. This process wasn't done to benefit the people, but it was done to for their own benefits, you know what I'm saying? So you can see from the map, that's the Northern Protectorate prior to 1960. This is how it was governed under the British colony. So you see here, the whole of this is the Northern Protectorate. You see how large it is. And then here is the Southern Protectorate. The whole of, this is a river. These are 2 rivers that merge together here. There's the River Niger and the River Benue, so merging together here. And then this is the colony of Lagos, where most of the British colonizers, had their access to Nigeria. They came through this point. So this is the Northern Protectorate and the Southern Protectorate, which were meshed together to form Nigeria. So this is a map of Nigeria. So Nigeria from the south, from the south here, is bordered by Gulf of Guinea. And from the south, it is bordered by Niger Republic. And then from the east here, it is bordered by Chad and Cameroon. And then from the west, is bordered by Benin Republic. So that was the beginning of Nigeria as a country. So that by 1960, when we had our independence, we now moved from this organization to a different kind of set. So by virtue of this presentation, I'm not going to dwell on the Hausa as a people, as one of the ethnic groups in Nigeria. But take note, these 3 major groups we've talked about, or we are talking about right now, are not just the only groups we have in Nigeria. These are like the major ethnic groups we have. When it comes to ethnicity, we have over 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria, which I might not be able to mention all of them right now because, we have to stay here till, 7. But I wouldn't want us to dwell on counting the ethnic groups. But let it be on record that Nigeria has about 250 ethnic groups, and we have over 500 languages. We don't. So, but English is like the official language we have spoken and everybody understands. But from the broader perspective, we have over 500 languages, and we also have about 250 ethnic groups. But we actually selected these 3 because they are the major ethnic groups in Nigeria. Other ethnic groups are split from the major ones. So the Hausa here, they are found mostly in northern Nigeria. As you saw in the map, the northern Nigeria, that's where the Hausa mostly are located. They constitute the largest ethnic group in Nigeria, and they also contain another large group called the Fulani. In the Hausa, if you come to Nigeria and you're talking about the Hausa people, there's another group in the Hausa who are called the Fulanis. And the Fulanis have among the Hausa majorly as a ruling class. Within the Hausa group, we have the Fulani who actually rule and dominate the Hausa as a group in Nigeria, and they also adopt the Hausa culture and their language. So the Fulani, they also adopt the language based on the fact that they also adopt the culture and languages of the Hausa people. So when the chiefs are down, it is a clear distinction is always made among themselves. So when we have a group of Hausa seated here, Hausa people seated here, you always know, we can tell that you are not typical, you are not a native Hausa, you are a Fulani person. You can actually tell from their appearance. But when you come to Nigeria and want to have this broad distinction, we say, you are the Hausa. But when it comes to the Hausa people there themselves, there's a clear, difference between the real Hausa and the Fulani Hausa. So that's the point. So you can see this map here is the map of Nigeria after independence in 1960. You can see it's different from, the structure is different from the one we had before. Unlike the one where we had the River Niger dividing the whole stuff and the northern region, but here we now have the area marked with green are majorly Hausa states. But you can still have Hausa-speaking countries in Hausa-speaking people living in Plateau here, some living in Taraba, Adamawa here, some in Nasarawa. But majorly, these are the major states where you find the Hausa people. Majorly, like if you come here, if you want to count, if in a group of 20, at least 18 are Hausa people, But in this middle belt here, you kind of like find, there are not really as many as what you're gonna find here. So that is it. They are majorly farmers. The Hausa people are majorly farmers, and they are cattle rearers. They farm freely without impediment. That is majorly what they are known for. When it comes to Nigeria, when it comes to farming activity, agriculture, the northerners and where are the houses, they're majorly farmers. And then the Fulani, who are also part of the house, are predominantly herders, cattle rearers, herders, and stuff like that. So that's basically what they do. The Fulani are found everywhere in Africa. Like if you go to Ghana, my Ghanaian brothers are here, they can tell you. They are also found in Chad, Burkina Faso. They are found everywhere in Africa. Unlike Hausa. Hausa are just, they are not as many, except, due to migration, they could actually migrate. But like for the Hausas, they are like everywhere in Africa as represented here. So another factor is that unlike the East, where they are predominantly, or the Igbos, who are predominantly Christians, the Hausas are majorly, like 99.9% of the Hausas are Muslims. And so they have a traditional ruler whom is held at a very high esteem, and it's called the Saki Muzuni. And the title is a sultan. He's under no influence. He's not under the influence of anybody. He's a major leader. Anybody who comes in Nigeria to be, who has any political aspiration in the country must consult him. He wielded so much influence, so much that whatever he speaks in the northern Nigeria, in Hausa, because he's their leader, they hold it on a very great esteem. So he's one of, as you can see him there, he's a sovereign leader, an independent leader. So this Alhaji Mohammed Abubakar III is the current Sultan of Sokoto. So that if you want to become the president of Nigeria, you must go there, consult him, and he has to he has to approve of you. He has to endorse you as a candidate before you be able to have the support from the north. Otherwise, you won't have it. So that's how powerful and influential it is. And then if you look at the dress code, you see that the man in the middle. If you see me, you see what I'm talking about. The guy in the middle, that's just what it is. So you see, that's how they are. Therefore, the ladies, you can either be this way and this. So they are so unique in their dressing. Like when you see a Hausa person, you don't even need anyone to tell you he's an Hausa person. You don't need it. By virtue of his appearance, you're already told he's an Hausa person. And they're women inclusive. Like they have unique cultural appearance. So if you see them, this how they appear. This is how they look like. So these are the Fulanis. Like we said before, in the Hausa, the Fulanis are also part of the Hausa, but these people are there are very few of them, but they dominate the Hausa. Now, if you see them, this is how they look like. This is how they appear. They have a distinct dressing code from the Hausa people, very different from them. So you can actually tell this is a Hausa Fulani person based on his appearance. So you can see this two people, there's two photographs here. This one was in his wedding, you can see. And then this ones are just normal demo mode, demo here and there. And this one's too, on the wedding attire and stuff like that. So these are the Fulani women, and they are basically known for, they actually hawk milk, because their men are herders, and they produce this milk from the cattle they rear. So you see them carrying this milk here and there, hawking and selling, and it tastes good. I mean, if you try it, you will enjoy it. I think I've had some of this before. I've had it. It's always very natural, really good, without any form of chemical combination or any form. So it's processed traditionally in a very good way, very healthy. You will enjoy it. So those are their women here, and that's what they do. So you see their men, like I said, if you see the Fulani men, you can actually tell. So you see their faces, you can actually tell. You know, sometimes they look scary, sometimes they look okay. No, you can see. So yeah, these are the Fulani. When you see them, you can tell. So, you know, some of them may look very okay. You see them okay, some look scary, some look nice. So it all depends. So this is a typical Hausa, person in a wedding, and his wife. So you see them represented here in this photograph. So these are the Hausa men in pre-colonial era. This culture has lived up to the present time. So that if you see what this one here, you see it's an advanced nature of this attire. So they still kind of carry their tradition from generation to generation. It's also kind of like, it's an important preserve in the Hausa tradition. So when it comes to the food in Hausa, the one here is called the waina. There's so many things, so many recipes, so many components that constitute this waina, which I may not be able to mention. But if you want to learn about this ones, after now you meet me, we'll look at it and then we'll dissect it and I will recommend the recipes accordingly. This one is masa. I've had this one, I've tested this one. Because when I went to Nasarawa State, I tried this and it was really good. Masa is really, really good. I don't know what it's made of, but it was really, really good. Then this one is the tigbigiri soup. I haven't tried it, but it looks really good, as you can see. It looks good. Then this one here, this is like the major one. As it has rice. There's rice in it, and the name is actually down there, but I'm not sure the projector is actually showing it. What's the name? Or maybe because it's did you find the name? Okay, maybe because it's Zoom, the name was down there. But it's rice, and that's fresh pepper. These are the major delicacies the Hausa eat, which are very good. But I've tried this one. I've tried masa, but I haven't tried this one. So thank you so much for your audience, and I hope you guys enjoy yourselves and have a good week. Thank you so much.
Then we mash up the place. Party after party, then we mash up the place. Party after party, then we mash up the place. Mash up the place.
Big tree with the beat.
I think this program is a very nice one. I'm glad to be one of the presenters. I presented Yoruba culture, which basically talks about the Yoruba people of Nigeria, the Republic and Togo, and in Central America and other parts of the world. To allow ETSU students to get to know about other cultures from other parts of the world. There are a lot of students who are quite busy with their academic schedules and don't have that opportunity to know about how diverse the universe is. This is a program that will ensure that everyone gets to know about other peoples from other parts of the planet. So I want to encourage ETSU Multicultural Center to continue to do what they are doing.
I learned a lot about Nigeria. I had not really known anything before coming in, so that was very interesting, and the food is also very delicious. So.
I think this event is one of the best events I've attended at ETSU. It's given me a lot of insight about the Yoruba tribe and their houses and their culture, dance and food, and Nigeria as a whole. And, I think it's a good program. And above that, the food is nice, man. This debate about Ghana jollof and Nigeria jollof. I'm from Ghana, so of course Ghana wins. But the food is nice, it's good, and I really enjoy myself.
This is my first event, and I thought it was really cool to learn about the different cultures and to get to try the food after.
And this was also my first event, and I loved getting to know other cultures, and the dancing was really fun, and the music, and the food was really good. I enjoyed the rice and the chicken.
The Nigerian culture share was very enlightening because going into it, I didn't know anything about really Nigeria much. I just had a few Nigerian friends, but I was really grateful to have the opportunity to learn about the culture in Nigeria and the 3 different ethnic groups that were the major ethnic groups there. It was really cool, and the music was great, and the food was very delicious.
Okay.
I would say the best part for me was the food. Yeah, I like the food and the fellowship and hanging out with my friends. Yeah, but I did get to learn 1 or 2 new things about Nigeria as a country and just the organizations and the different tribes. Yeah, and I think we can do a lot more and just make these programs lively and interesting and educative for all of us. Yeah. Thank you.
It is better just nothing you can do. We are just a penny to the fetch a coffee. Pile, more